Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another week of What's for Dinner. I have missed you guys. I didn't realize it had been so long since I had put a What's for Dinner video on. So in this, you're going to see some of the meals that we've been having around here lately, and I hope you enjoy this. I hope you find some inspiration. We've got some really easy meals for the most part, they all are, and some takeout even, some help from the grocery store. Sometimes that's what happens during the busy summer when your garden produce is coming on and you just have summer things that are going on. So easy meals and some help from the grocery store and takeout. That's what you're going to see here. I hope you stay tuned. If you enjoy my What's for Dinner video, give it a thumbs up. And with all that being said, we're going to jump right in. We're going to start here with a very quick and easy but delicious French bread pizza. Alright, I'm starting with this loaf of seeded bread here that you can see I got on the markdown rack at Walmart for 50 cents. I like to find these little markdown racks, just kind of see what's on them, see if there's anything there that I could incorporate in with meals. And so I had picked up 2 of these and put them in my freezer. And for today, I needed something quick. I'm also trying to work through things in my freezer, especially bread items. You want to kind of use those relatively soon and don't let them sit in there forever and a day so they're not fresh the next time you go to use them. So I decided, how about a French bread pizza? We used to like these way back in the day. We would buy the Stouffer's ones, I think, but this one is going to be made from scratch. So I fried up what breakfast sausage I had. I had this ham in the freezer. Anytime you have some lunch meat that you aren't able to work through and you don't want it to ruin, throw it in the freezer. You can pull it out and add it into all sorts of recipes later. So that's what the ham was. And then I'm just dicing up some onion and a yellow pepper. Again, this is a recipe that you can use what you have, what you need to use while it's fresh, what you have in your freezer to pull together the toppings for a pizza. So that's what we've got going on here with our sausage, ham, onions, and peppers. And now I'm going to put down a layer of pizza sauce. I'm using this one here from Great Value. I love making my own pizza sauce. I have a delicious recipe, and if I can remember, I will put it below. And I usually double that and put some in the freezer, but I haven't made that in a good while. I've just been taking some help from the store, and that's what we did this time with this pizza sauce. Now that I've got that down, I am going to start adding on the toppings, and this is the ham that I fried up, just kind of broke that up into smaller pieces as it was all done, and then I'm going to top it with the sausage. Now adding on these peppers and onions. That is just so much flavor, especially when you fry them up ahead of time. And then I'm just going to come in with a sprinkle of garlic powder, and I'm going to get started next with my cheese. And to top it all off, pepperoni. That's always a crowd favorite, and I usually put my pepperoni on top of my cheese just because I like to see the pepperoni. That's just how I do it most often, and so we are going to layer it on. It's probably more than I would normally use, but I wanted to finish up this package. And like everyone knows with pizza, put whatever toppings that suits your fancy. I am putting on toppings today because I wanted to use these things up, and so this was the perfect recipe and meal to use these items. Would you look at that? This bread loaf got the perfect crispiness on the bottom. You heard that as I was cutting through. Look at all those beautiful and delicious layers. I cut this thing up. We had it with the salad, and oh my word, it was so delicious. Very quick. You don't have to worry about making any dough because you're using your French bread. That cuts out a step and makes it a really quick meal to get on the table. Give this one a try if you haven't. It did not disappoint. And later on that evening, we figured what would finish this off better than a brownie. I haven't had brownies in a long time, and I don't know about you, but I am a box mix brownie girl. I have only made homemade brownies a time or two, and honestly, I just prefer the box mix. And so I'm even not really super particular about the brand, but I usually stick with the Betty Crocker or maybe the Duncan Hines. So you know, I'm just showing you what we had to eat this day. You may be thinking, oh my goodness, you're showing a box brownie mix. Yes, I am. We had it to eat. It was delicious. We served it with ice cream, and it capped off the evening just perfectly. All right, and I told you we had carry out one night. My sweet husband decided to bring home Yats. It's one of his very favorite restaurants. I enjoy it, but not as much as him, but I do like it. He brought home the two things that he loves the most, and on the right is Crawfish Etouffee, and there on the left it's drunken chicken. And then the garlic bread has delicious, delicious flavor, and that's what we had tonight, served over rice. And for dinner tonight, we decided we needed some biscuit and gravy in our life. I hadn't made that in way too long. It's one of our very favorites. I had a half a pound of the breakfast sausage left from the pizza, and we just decided biscuits and gravy and an omelet was what we were going to have tonight. So my sausage is fried up. I keep bacon fat left from when I fry bacon or do bacon in the oven. I'm adding a little bacon fat, salt, and pepper to this. And I always use evaporated milk when I am making my gravy. I just enjoy the flavor of that. And so here I am adding in my flour just to get this all thickened up before I add that evaporated milk in. And I'm going to show you here how this gravy comes together. I'm adding in just a bit more black pepper. We really love black pepper in general, but especially in gravy. And so I'm going to whisk that together, and then I'm just going to turn the heat down while I am working on our eggs. Now, I said we were having an omelet, but it ended up being more just like loaded scrambled eggs. Again, I'm using what I needed to finish up, and so I have some shaved ham. It was not from the shaved ham I had before. This was actually some fresh shaved ham that we had a little bit left. I thought, okay, perfect in these eggs. Some jalapenos, those are the pickled ones from the jar. Some cheese, I had a little bit in the bottom of the bag, and then I'm adding in a couple slices of white American. And I'm just gonna let these cook through. These eggs were actually the bomb. And so there's my gravy. You can see that it's on a very low heat. It's just basically keeping warm. The eggs have come together, and in the spirit of using up things that need to be used, I had a can of Pillsbury Grand's biscuits. That's what we are using tonight for our biscuits. And here's a look at the plate. This is the biscuits, gravy, eggs, and I loved sliced tomatoes along with my breakfast. All right, guys, does this plate look like summertime or what? Cooking tonight has been brought to you by Kroger. Fried chicken, rotisserie chicken, little cherry tomatoes, cottage cheese, and cucumbers. I wish the veggies were from our garden, but we don't have tomatoes and cucumbers ready yet. So, Sweet Jane stopped at Kroger and picked up this chicken tonight, and this is like a summertime plate because Sometimes it's just too busy to be cooking in the kitchen. This is going to be delicious. Thanks, Kroger. Thanks, James. I am starting with this box cake mix. It's Perfectly Moist Pineapple Supreme by Duncan Hines. I've just mixed it up according to the box direction. And then I'm going to make a pineapple upside down cake. So in my 9x13, I'm going to put 1/4 stick of butter, a cup of brown sugar, and then I'm going to build from there. So first I'm going to get my 1/4 cup of butter and let it melt. And I'll show you as we go along. Okay, my butter 1/4 cup is melted, and I'm putting in a cup of brown sugar. I just want to kind of mix this around.
This cherry, it's like it's exploding in my brain.
It's exploding in your brain, the cherry is? Wow. Henry is having some fresh cherries, and you heard his reaction. Have you had those kind of cherries before?
No.
You love them?
Mm-hmm.
They are pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so basically this goes in the bottom, and then we're going to put cherries and pineapples on top. I'm sure everybody and their brother has made a pineapple upside down cake before. All right, so we have some ring pineapples. You don't have to have rings, but for presentation they really are pretty.
Wait, I need taste of it.
So you just lay them down in here like this. What do you have to say?
I have to say, when I was a little boy, I mean a big boy, my mommy made that before.
She did?
Pineapple upside down cake.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I bet she did.
That was a long time ago, and I said, can I have a piece? Then mommy gave me a piece, and then you know what I did?
What?
I picked it up and then put the whole thing in my mouth.
No
The
way.
whole thing. And you said, whoa, whoa, whoa. Mommy said, whoa, 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 whoa. Slow down on being there, not put the whole thing in your mouth.
Oh my goodness.
Is that funny?
That is. The idea of this, you turn this upside down onto a serving platter, and then this ends up being on the top. So, you know, it's always fun when you're trying to turn things upside down and get them to turn out looking right. And then this is not a true 9x13. I don't know, it's super close. It's what I have. So ideally you would have 3 rows across, and I think like 3 pineapples across and 4 down, but this is what I have. I haven't had a 9x13 pan in a long time. I had one that had a lid with handles, and the lid broke, and I just never replaced it. So this will do. And let's just throw some cherries
Cherry?
in the other little spots just for fun. Why not?
You can't even taste something. Tell these guys that the lady broke some glass.
You can tell him.
So,
Just say it. You don't have to look in the camera right now. Just say it. You can tell him.
So somebody broke some glass and
Oh, that's right.
so they broke it when me and mommy was at the store. So they just broke it, and now I'm so mad at her, and now I'm never going to look at her ever again.
Wow, really?
Not at her face.
Not at her face.
No, I'm never going to do that.
No? Okay, so then your cake mix goes on top. You just smooth it out like this.
I'm showing all those people how to make an upside down
Yes.
pineapple cake.
That's what I'm doing.
I'm trying to show them
I'm trying to show them.
how to make it.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, I'll have this recipe linked below. I'm just using the Betty Crocker recipe. You can find it online, or if you have a Betty Crocker cookbook, you can certainly find it there.
going to get this in the oven.
All right, and this is the platter that I always use when I am making this cake. And so I am just going to turn the cake out onto this serving platter. And it's always just a big cheer, and you're so happy when everything looks like it's cooperating. And that's one good thing about the glass pan, I will add too. You can kind of see what's going on. You can see that everything's kind of falling down like it should. And lastly, you just take off that glass dish or whatever dish you have, and there you have it. This cake is so impressive looking, and I'm telling you, it tastes so tropical and so delicious. Very easy. I don't know why I don't make these more. It was amazing. So now I'm going to get into the rest of what we had that day for dinner. We had loaded nachos. I love nachos. I haven't made this for family night, and that's what this was, in a long time. And I use a lot of different cheese or different styles, different ways to make loaded nachos. But when you're serving a crowd, the 6-pound, 11-ounce warehouse size can is a great bargain. It is very inexpensive compared to just the little small can of Rico's. You get so much more bang for your buck. And what's great about this, it freezes well. So you can either open this and use what you need and freeze the rest, or you can put it in the crock pot like I've done here. And once you're finished at the end of the day, you can freeze what's left. It works out perfectly. I've done it many times. I just put it in a gallon size Ziploc bag or whatever size container is appropriate for what you have left over. Put it in the freezer, and then when you need it the next time, get it back out. You can reheat it in your crock pot again or however you want. It turns out perfectly every time. All right, and this is some of my chicken that I have diced up. I'm frying here. I've got it seasoned up. That's going to be a topping for our loaded nachos. And then I actually cooked some beans all day in my slow cooker. These are some dry pinto beans mixed with pinto and Great Northern. I don't love refried beans out of the can, and so I thought, okay, I'm going to make my own, but I need to keep working on this to make it taste even better. I probably should have blended them down a little bit smoother. They had a really good taste, but I still need to work on getting these perfected. But I added some cumin, some salt, pepper, some other seasonings in there, and made kind of a homemade refried bean. So that's kind of what that looks like. And then, you guys, it never fails. When my kids get here, my grandkids get here, I forget to take clips of everything that I've worked on throughout the day. So I've slowed these down a little bit so I could actually show you what we have, because I made a real quick video. We had already kind of started making our plates, but we had the chips, of course. Then we've got the refried beans, the nacho cheese. We had ground beef and fresh chicken. We had, there's little Henry with his plate. We had lettuce, tomato, guacamole, all various types of toppings, green onions. We had some black olive, sour cream, various types of salsas. It was really delicious. That's what we had tonight, of course, with our delicious cake that I showed you earlier. My plate here was covered over with lettuce, so you can't see it that great, but here is my son Garrett's plate. It was delicious. As always, thanks for watching, guys. Give this a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, I'd love to have you around here. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.